Hello, my name is Joseph Carlson, and this is episode 4 of the Grand TTE RPG Experiment, the Grand Tabletop Experiment. I'm going to be the DM. If you're seeing me right now, it's because I'm on YouTube. That's pretty cool. Please like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Episodes will hit the 1st and the 15th of every month. This is the Blood Hunter campaign. It continues on. If you are listening to me, that's fine. All this will still come out as an audio podcast. So go to the normal places, Apple, iTunes, or Google Play Store, Spotify, that. Like, subscribe, follow, that kind of things. If you want to write to me or anybody in the cast, go to gwgpodfellows@gmail.com. Let me know or us know what episode you wanted to talk about, and we could talk about it. So without further ado, here is the episode. I think the proper thing we should do is recap what happened last time because we had such a big break between the last time we played. And what happened last time was you, Elokar, and Ollie, the boy that was knew where this hidden place was in the mountain, nicknamed the Spire, you guys went to it and you basically blew up a mountain. So that seemed awesome. But unfortunately, when you did that, you unleashed a young shadow nether dragon into Wildmount, or, near where you are patrolling the area. So I remember you guys being shocked by that, but you are alive, broken, laying on top of what is left of the mountain. Yeah. Luckily, you guys had some healing potions, so you were able to heal each other up. Ollie was hurt, but you were able to heal him with potions. He had some broken legs, limbs. You guys were all broken. Yeah.
I looked at mine. I got 18 hit points out of 45. So.
Right. So basically what happens is you, if I remember right, you met up with some other Order members who were trying to find where you guys ultimately found an entrance to this lair, this spire, and you had other people with you trying to also help you find this place, and you unfortunately or fortunately found it first, and what happened in the campaign happened. So you blew up the spire, you released the dragon, you meet up with the other survivors, and you all make your way back to Vela Keep, which is where your base of operations and stuff like that. So go ahead and give yourself a long rest, because I also saw that you had 18 hit points left and you were not doing well. So go ahead and do that. Does that feel good? Are we...
having to remember where everything is.
Yeah, I know. We had a long break. It's been summer. There you go.
All right.
So you're basically, even though you got a long rest, it's been probably, I'd say about a week, 5 to 7 days. You're still kind of recuperating because, healing potion stuff can only do so much when you fall from a great height into the side of a mountain. But what happens is that there was a dwarf that was there. His name was Krog. He was a merchant / brewer, and you had seen him several times at the keep. He approaches you kind of and what you notice is, the other times you've been at the keep, there's been a lot of people around, lot of people around, or a handful, but there's been people. It's actually pretty desolate here. There isn't a lot of people. It seems like it's almost like an off season where everybody's traveling. But what happens is Korg, as you're sitting at one of the tables in the kitchen, just kind of stretching and getting used to waking up at a reasonable hour, is he approaches you with some ale and sits down next to you and kind of pushes the ale, in front of you. And he said, "How goes it?"
I mean, it goes better sometimes, but I'm alive.
Yeah.
I was like, "Thank you for the ale. You're a lifesaver there." Take a drink.
He says, "Well, of course we all heard what happened. Many of the brothers and sisters here don't know what happened to the dragon, and we haven't heard reports of it terrorizing anybody. So there's that, at least, maybe."
Well, we gotta go. Once we all get recouped a little bit, we gotta go try to track that thing down and make sure it's nowhere around here. If it is, try to kill it.
Well, that'll be definitely a thing. Probably not he like looks at you, you know, a little bit, and he's gonna roll a dice here to see if he. Yeah, he just looks you up and down, and he's like, "Well, probably not tomorrow, right? You're still gonna take a day or two, or at least a little bit of time."
I'm gonna take a little bit of time.
Okay. He said, and he kind of looks around. And he said, "Well, when you do feel better, I found this." And he passes you, like slides on the table, what appears to be what you've seen on many message boards and stuff before, a bounty request. But you see that it is ripped, and there is blood on it, and it looks like it has been handled a bit.
I'm like, what is this request from?
He says, "Well, I was, in the woods traveling, trying to find some ingredients to work on an anyway. I'm working on something, and I saw this at a broken bounty board near a wooded crossroads, and I think there was a trail. I saw a trail of blood and bone. You would know more of that work than me, but something. It shows like this weird. It's like a drawing of a creature that looks humanoid, but has like these weird, kind of like almost like squid-like hands. So it almost doesn't have like digits. It's just got like weird, like tentacles. But like in the tentacles, you see there's kind of like a spikiness to them, and it looks like actually an incredibly ornate drawing of the thing. But it walks. It looks like it's bipedal, and its head is very squid-like, where it doesn't have tentacles on its face. Its head is like kind of squishy and oval.
Okay, and does it say like what area? Or?
Yeah, it basically shows like it is like an X marks the spot thing where it shows this traveled like path where you've seen it's a well-traveled road probably southwest of where you are. Actually, give me a survival check to see if you know like the exact area.
Survival. 23.
Whoa, all right. You know where this is. You've traveled this road before. I mean, you've obviously hunted down several creatures, but you know this exact area. It's literally a crossroads, like a merchant crossroads, where it's kind of like an unofficial hanging spot, like a hangout spot for merchants when they go to different towns. It's like literally 4 lanes that meet into one. Like an intersection, and they meet up like, hey, where are you going? Oh, I'm going here. Oh, try this. They really, it's just like a little gathering place. Merchants will stop there. There's no real name for it, but everybody knows, like, I know where that is, Well, you do because you were survival check, but yeah.
Well, I look at him, I was like, you know what? I could use a win.
It just says 100 in gold, and it actually says that the bounty is from Vela Keep, where you're sitting. So you'd probably go to the brothers and sisters that run the keep. You would go to them and turn it in. Like, your thing is like bring a limb, or you guys usually bring a head or something and say, I got it. Here's where I am,
I look at him and I was like, I appreciate this. Since it's from here, I'll actually go ask and see if anybody has any more information or anything like that.
So you want to check go to the brothers and sisters of Vela Keep, the order or whatever.
Yeah, and just basically see if I can get any kind of information on it.
Right. So just to remind you again, it's been a long thing, and then even longer since you've been here. There's Brother Kane, who is the cleric. That you're the order domain, right? Because you picked. Yeah. He's the one who taught you your subclass, and then there's Brother Basil. He's the Elven Order, the Mutant. You don't really know how old he is. There's Sister Rita, who's a female tiefling, and she's an Order of Knowledge cleric. All of these 4, and then there's Sister Frey, who's a fire genasi, and she's a Circle the Moon druid. She's the archdruid who runs Vela Keep. So you can go to any of them. Usually the person that would do this would probably be, Brother Kane's the one who taught you or whatever. But any of them know about bounties and stuff. They're all surmised of what's going on in the keep.
Well, I figured information, knowledge. Let's talk to Sister
Rita, the tiefling. You come to her and she's in the library on the second floor. and she's kind of poring over a bunch of tombs and everything. She's got it's like one of those things where she's studying for finals, where there's a
Yeah.
stack of books around her, and you see her scribbling stuff, and you come and she's like, oh, hello, and she like stands up and she motions you to sit. She's like, and like, do you sit down or?
Yeah, I walk over.
As you guys like slowly, are you doing the like I've worked out all day sit down where you're like kind of like lowering yourself in the seat?
I'm doing I'm in my 40s and I just woke up and feel like everything's thrashed.
And it's Saturday, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of lower yourself, and she's like, I didn't expect you. Were you fine up the stairs? And are you okay? I mean, we heard.
I'm good. I will survive.
She said, "That's good. What brings you? Would you like some water or some wine or something?"
I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
Actually, Krog was asking me about this, and I figured until we get situated and get everything back in order to be able to try to track the dragon, I'd check on this. And I show her the bounty paper.
Of course. I'm. You're the first person to ask about that. Krog found it.
Yeah.
Oh well. Okay, you see her go like reach down, and she's got like a leather satchel down at the base of the table. Kind of reaches through some papers and pulls it out, and pulls out like the same thing, but it's clean. It's actually a little bit more legible than the one you had because it was ripped up and it looked like it was burnt.
Yeah.
This is what's known as. Actually, give me an Arcana check. I'll say. Yeah, give me and you have an advantage because this isn't this. You have advantage.
Oh, that's good.
I didn't see what you rolled. I didn't check the log.
That's probably a good thing. 17 for my.
Oh yeah, I saw the first one. Then it just popped up. Yeah, okay. This is a choker. So these things literally just latch onto people and choke them to death, and they eat people. I mean, they're very nasty. Their whole thing is grappling, obviously, with the limbs and everything. You've fought them, but you haven't really had a bounty on them. It's just one of those things where you're trying to get somewhere, and one is in your way, and you kill it. And when that happens, I'd imagine you're a little bit sad you didn't get paid. So you're like, there's money laying on the table, basically. Like, so it's 100 gold bounty to Vela Keep, because what's happening is, about these creatures since you got advantage. They can squeeze through cracks, and they can like spider climb, so they're very mobile. And so every time somebody tries to hunt them or something, they're always able to just literally elude or squeeze out of the way. I mean,
any kind of weaknesses that they know of?
They don't. Their whole thing is like they are mortal though. They're probably like a weaker, they're you would consider them weaker. Like, although normal people would have a hard time to whatever, tracking them, that they actually, to do certain things like they're a little bit like warriors in the way that they can push themselves past. Like, you've seen warriors get like a second wind or something, or they can do that, but that they're very mortal. And if you corner them or whatever and stop them from being able to take a breath, you can take them out pretty easy. It just is difficult. Plus, with your abilities being the Lycan, you have advantage on like strength checks and stuff. So like their whole thing is grappling someone and then eating them. So you have a little bit better chance of eluding the grapple and stuff like that. So
and I can eat him.
You could. They're gross, but they're pretty gross. But that's the whole thing, is like if townspeople went after them in like a mob, the chokers would run. But someone like you, again, is obviously that's your whole job, is to kill monsters, but also you're in a unique position to maybe be able to overcome the grapple and beat the crap out of it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, she says it's 100 gold. Come back to me, and I'll mark it off the list and give you your money. Once we see the head, obviously. But, she's like, sorry, I just tell everybody. She's like, we've had townspeople come in and try to kill it to no avail. It either runs away or what have you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah. And you see her take a note, like on a ledger, like as you're leaving, and then go like put everything back in her satchel, and then she goes back to reading. Again, she's got finals or something. Keep finals. I don't know what, like she's studying for a promotion or something like that. At the keep. Yeah.
All right. So, um, I leave out of there. I go down. I kind of check over my gear.
Yeah, your horse is fine. I always forget your horse's name. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So your horse is fine. You.
I mean, my horse's name isn't as bad as Jesse's horse's name.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But your horse is fine. It's actually just been waiting for you to feel better. When you come in the stables, it's very much like, it looks over at you and, nudges you a little bit and everything, because it's been a week for it too, where it's just been eating oats and hay waiting for you. And you have all your gear. You're not. I don't think you're really. Looking over your inventory, you're not really missing anything. You can, if you want something like extra stuff, you can add that if you want.
I think I got torches.
You have torches twice, which is weird, but we can fix that.
I don't know why I have torches twice.
That's weird.
I have 2 tinder boxes.
That's also... Oh, yeah, you do. Well,
I don't know. I think when I was originally doing this, I hit something twice and it popped up.
Yeah, I've done that too, where instead of adding a quantity, I add the item. So it adds the item twice instead of, you can say I have 2 tinder boxes in the quantity section, but we could do that later. So do you want to get any... you have rations. You can hunt a little bit if you want, but it'll take you about 3 days to get to this crossroads. So
let's see, what rations do I have?
You have 10 days of rations.
Oh, okay. I'm good.
Okay. By the way, as an aside, some websites have done different rations from different cultures, which I think is pretty cool. They do pictures of like, here's what elven rations would look like, and here's what human rations would look like. It was kind of nice to conceptualize rations.
My rations would just be big chunks of meat.
dried pork, like chunks of dried pork.
Turkey.
Salted pork and like not even bread. Like just dried hardtack bread, which is disgusting. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you take off pretty much right away, or?
What time of the day is it?
It's like 11 in the morning after you awoke and, talked and all that stuff.
Yeah, I was like, I'll head out. If it's going to take me 3 days, then I can spend a day traveling and just taking it easy.
Yeah. It does feel really good to get back on your horse. After, like, the first day is pretty much like, there's no, you camp on the side of the road kind of off to the side. Unless you want to make any special dispensations. Give me a roll on so it's on the second day. Give me a insight check, actually.
13.
Not bad. 13. You kind of notice with your just being on the road that there doesn't seem to be a lot of animal noises when you get to, like it's like day 2, and you did notice a few rabbits and some squirrels in the road, but nothing big. You didn't see any deer or anything. And on the second day, you notice it's getting very quiet where you are.
Stupid dragon.
Could be, yeah. Could be.
Yeah, I kind of take a mental note of it, and I make it a point to, as I'm riding and doing everything, kind of look out and see, birds, any kind of thing.
Okay. So at the end of the third day, you would have gotten to these crossroads. Give me an investigation check, since you're taking a mental note. Not bad. It's not that difficult. What you notice is as you're approaching these crossroads, you see some animal carcasses. You see like a fox carcass, blood is all over. And it's almost like a terrible trail of you know,
Just carnage and destruction.
carnage and destruction. Yes.
Okay. Well, at this point, I know the further I go, I'm going to actually get close to it, right?
Right, and you can tell this is almost like footprints if this thing had feet. Like you're oh, actually, you had that with the advantage. Go ahead and roll again as you're kind of like following these animals, carcasses. Hey, yeah, this is the. It seems like the carcasses are getting more and more pronounced, and you kind of like at the end of it's taking you all day to kind of like trace these. You've kind of left your horse kind of in
Yeah,
a
I was
safe
going to
spot.
say I probably left him back towards the.
Right. And this is like, I don't know if you can attune in the game to a horse. I actually haven't read that. But this is pretty much, he does. Like, I'll say if you, I mean, at this point, you've had the horse so long, I'd say that if you fail like an animal handling check, I'd let you roll. I'd probably just let you roll with advantage because this is your horse.
Yeah.
This isn't some weird loner horse. So yeah, you on the end of the third day, it takes you most of the day, and you come upon like this weird. It looks like this weird kind of pile of rock and stone, and you can hear because you have even when you don't go hybrid, don't you have an advantage to like hearing and smells? I think.
Uh, I mean,
I mean, it could.
I would think so
Yeah,
because it's.
because I think that's one of your traits. Here we go. See, that's your. Mm,
You gain advantage of wisdom, heightened senses.
yeah. Yeah, hearing or smell.
Yeah.
So, give me a. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? Give me a survival check again with advantage.
17 and 21.
21's very good. So what happens is, so this is kind of, it's like getting late. So I'm going to show you the light thing right here. So what you do, hang on, make sure that I don't. So you kind of track it to about right here is where you hear the noise. Do you see where the light is?
Yeah, I see it.
That's about where you've kind of like it's getting louder that way. So I would say you probably can move your guy up to about here is where you've kind of, in this rock outcropping. So you're hidden.
Well, before I start getting too crazy with it, we got our ritual we have to do.
Yep, it totally makes sense, man.
Do my hybridness
Yeah, I always forget. Do you have to roll for that?
and my crimson right.
Nice. Don't you just click on it so you like Hulk out a little bit?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, I might have to. This is the whole new setup we're trying, but I might have to bring my another iPad in next time to just have D&D Beyond up and everything.
Okay, so I have to. Since when I Hulk out is on my claws. Yes, I do. Since it's 2 claws, 2d6.
Yes.
And that is 8 points of damage.
Ugh, well, could be worse, I guess. Maybe not
Yes.
too much, but.
It's okay. It's only puts me at like 43.
Yeah.
so now that I am ready, let's go ahead.
Oh, do you want me to shine that light where you...
No, I got to get back onto. There we go. Now I'm back on. All right, so
Yeah, you pretty much got, I'd say, with your investigation, you got to about right where this light is, about right there behind this tree, and that's kind of like where you've been following the animal carcasses and stuff.
all right, so do you see where I'm at?
Yeah, I see you moving.
Okay, I'm just kind of slowly going through here.
Give me, I take it you want to do like a stealth. Do you have disadvantage on stealth? I forget.
I shouldn't, not when I'm in.
Well, I
When
thought
I'm in my beast form or like my hybrid form.
okay. But isn't it your arm? Or no, you picked the last rung of armor, right?
I have. Wait a minute. What is my studded leather?
Right, so it's like the last rung of armor I think you can get that doesn't give you disadvantage or whatever,
Yeah.
I think. So yeah, so do you want to give me a stealth check really quick and let me know what you got? I don't have the thing in front of me, so.
I'm not stealthy.
Okay, you don't care?
No, I mean I rolled and got a 7.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if
I'm
you...
not stealthy.
Yeah, so what happens is here, you notice, you see this creature here. Hopefully it showed up in your screen. It might be blocked by the trees, but
Where at?
here, I'll show you. You hear this horrible, like disgusting, like it's bent over right now, just devouring like this elk carcass, and you see like blood and like bones around it. This thing's been eating really well.
Okay, so while it's going, I'm trying to, as quietly as possible.
You want to do that stealth check again to see if you...
Yeah, let's try to see if I can. I got a 10.
Well, let's see if he gets you. Hang on a sec. You see, like, as you're, like, trying to get up there, you do the thing that happens time immemorial. You step on a twig, and you see him, like, look, like, just his head, like, shoots up, and he, like, spins, and he literally leaps at you. So roll initiative. So I'm gonna move him.
18.
Hang on, my mouse cord is... I was trying to move him and my mouse cord was actually stopping. You got an 18?
18.
You meet in the... Do you try to, like, leap at it with your claws or meet it with your claws as it's leaping at you, or...
Yeah.
Okay, it swings at you. It does 2 tentacle attacks. Okay, hang on. What's your AC? Sorry.
17.
First one misses. Second one hits for 6 points of damage. It is now your turn.
All right, well.
I usually would do an initiative order, but there's only 2 of you. I think it's pretty clear to see who's going
Yeah.
where. I'm not going to like, oh, now it's your turn. Now it's his turn. Yeah, it's your turn.
10.
To hit?
Yeah.
That's AC. Ooh. That is a miss with one of your claws. You want to swipe again?
Yeah. Wow. I rolled double 10s.
All right, you missed again. It's his turn again. He's going to try to grapple with you because, that's his thing. He's going to, if his attack is Um, okay, I read that wrong. So he's they word this where if he automatically he grapples you, he's striking out. At this time, I'm going to say you know so much about him because you've obviously studied him. It does look like you see the little twitch in his tendrils. Like the next time he attacks you, if he connects, he is going to try to wrap you up.
Okay.
So, sorry, what was your AC again?
17.
Okay. That he missed the first time. And he hit the second time, so that's 4 points of damage. And you see him wrap his arm like right around your waist when he hits you, and it is a DC 15 check to try to break free of his whatever. But that would be your turn.
Okay. So.
Well, actually, yeah. Just see if you can do a DC 15. It's a DC 15 escape. It's a strength check, but it's a DC 15.
So I just rolled a strength
Yeah.
check, right?
Yep.
Is that just a strength check or savings throw?
It says right here, hit piercing. Hang on. I'm clicking on a text box. I would say it's a saving throw.
Okay. Well, damn.
Is that not good?
Even with an advantage, I got a 10.
Okay. Not much advantage. So what happens is your movement 0, and now every attack it has against you has advantage until you break free.
Okay.
So he's going to try to hit you with advantage. Missed. The first one missed. Second one hit again for 4 points of damage. Do you want to try to break free again?
Yeah.
That broke free.
All right.
You want to try to swipe at it with your claws?
Yeah. Miss. And I fall on my fucking face.
Okay, well, it's his turn. He's going to attempt. So I didn't see your roll.
I rolled a 1 with a +6, so I got 7.
Nice. So you're basically like, he's just like with his squid-like arms, it's like he's like Daniel Sunning your Miyagi. He's just batting away your claws. He's going to attempt to hit you again, and he's going to attempt to grapple. That is a miss. He missed again. Now it's your turn again. You see him. You're like holding him off with your forearms, trying to push against him while he's trying to grab, your back or something,
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll.
I can't remember. Can I do spells while I'm in?
Yeah, when you're in hybrid form, you can cast spells.
Okay. Well, let's try.
You gonna do like radiant something or other?
I was gonna try either guiding bolt or inflict wounds.
Yeah, you could grab inflict wounds. You got to grab them, but you could do that. Don't you make a melee attack, and if you hit,
17.
That hit? Are you inflicting wounds on him?
I am inflicting wounds on him.
What does that do for damage?
3d10 plus 1.
Holy crap!
18 damage.
Woo! You do that, and like your claw, you reach out with your hand, you grab him, and it just you hear it like burn his shoulder, and your hand digs into his shoulder, and he screams, and he yards away from you. And when he yards his shoulder away, you have part of his flesh still stuck to your hand from the spell, and it like burns away, from you like inflicting wounds, and you see him He looks, you see just like without rolling insight, you just see his eyes flicker left and right. Like he's actually that was a big hit, and he's kind of panicking a little bit. And you see his eyes dart left and right, and he's going to attempt to leap out of the way. I didn't really show it on the map, but right here, there is a bigger rock outcropping, and you know what he's going to do because there's these small crevices in the rocks. Again, I'm not going to make you roll initiative, but he is going to attempt to leap out of the way, but when he does that, he's going to give you an attack of opportunity. So roll to hit before he leaps away. What'd you get?
I got to get to my
you're fine.
action.
Are you just going to claw him? Or are you going to attempt? Well, yeah, you're going to do like a melee strike on him, basically.
Yeah. 21.
Yep, that hit.
And 20. So yeah.
A nat 20 or just a dirty?
No.
Dirty?
Dirty.
So you hit him twice, so roll for damage.
6. And then what is...
It's like, isn't the first one 1d6 and the second one 1d4 for your claws? Yeah. Again, this...
It's 1d6 or 1d6 plus 4 for both of them.
Oh, okay.
But I'm looking for my Crimson Right.
Don't you have to activate that before you Hulk out? Or
that's what I did the damage on.
Oh, that's right.
So...
And you select, like, fire.
I have lightning damage, I believe.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, because you have to select one type of element, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, so... Ooh, 9.
Well, you hit twice, so the first one was 9. You said lightning.
No. 3 was the first one and 9 was the second one.
So you hit him with the first one, and like the claws like clip over his legs as he's leaping. The second one, when you hit him, you go across his left, leg as he's leaping, and when you cross it, you do so much lightning damage. You see it arc to the ground, and his foot blows off. When lightning attempts to find a ground. We've all seen the videos in PE. That like they have to do first aid and they're like, here's electrical, from electricity. So you just hear him scream in pain, and he does try to leap away, which this is a massive amount. But what happens is, as he's leaping, he slams into the side of the rocks and he is twitching. So all intents and purposes, he is here. I'm going to move him against like this big rock face. But since his head is slammed against it, you just see like viscera and stuff against the wall and blood. And you just see a massive trail of blood leaning down, like down towards you or whatever. So he really attempted and he failed in trying to do this. So...
Okay, he's still alive?
It's one of those things where he's twitching and you see him like, do you approach him? Do you just go, you can walk up to him if you want. You can move your guy. So do you do the slow hero walk up to him when you're like,
No, I'm not doing the slow hero walk. I'm trying to get the win, so
So you do that quick, like, kind of like, I imagine the hybrid wolf form, like your back's a little bit hunched over and you're kind of like quickly going over there, like, yeah. So you approach him and you see his head is leaning against the side of this rock and his, like I said, the viscera is running down it, and you see him reach one of his squid-like tentacles up to you, but he's very weak and he's having a hard time, like, but he is looking up at you. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna kill him.
I'm not gonna make you roll. You just use your claws and like rip his head off, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, you just rip his head off and like the body falls to the ground and like it's not even, you don't even know if it's blood, but it's like oil-like substances dripping from his neck. And do you just you brought a sack? Do you just put the sack?
It's going in the sack.
Okay. So you put it in the sack. Do you unhulk out? Do you go back to Do you go back?
Before I do that, I kind of want to look around the area and inspect and any of that, seeing if he was the only one, if
Oh,
he had
right.
like a cachet of anything, since he was killing people and animals,
Uh,
anything like that. Something that if I get startled, I can still be able to.
okay. Give me an investigation check if you're checking the area and stuff. Let me know what you got.
13.
You find 4 pieces of gold, just kind of like strewn throughout the bones that you're looking through, like all these carcasses. And it appears that you don't really know about their mating habits. You would probably have to go back and read at the keep, but
Okay.
yeah, it appears that you killed it and it was alone. For everything that you can surmise from you looking around, it's gone and it was alone. So
Okay.
that's one less.
Okay. So I unhulk and I'm like, oh, that sucked.
Yeah, the grappling isn't good. I need to
Well,
actually read on that a bit, but yeah, it
it
sucks.
wasn't just so much the grappling; it was the rolls.
Yeah. Well, you did good for your insight investigation. Remember, that's how it goes with you usually is. This is how it goes, and then like you set the precedent for if you do really good with combat first, that's what you're gonna do. If you do good with the other stuff, that's what you're gonna do good first, and the other one always has to suffer. That's like your rule all the time. Every time I've been with you rolling, I'm like, well, this is how these are gonna go, but now you're gonna suck in this section. So,
All right, and I'm gonna do a, let's see, which one helps? Nope.
uh,
Nope.
you could
All
do.
right, I guess a cure wounds is all I got.
Yeah, you also have those healer kits. Remember? So, yeah, you have some healer kits. I thought.
Oh, I got 5 potions of healing.
Oh yeah. You've been. I think you bought some of those.
Yeah, greater potions.
Now, do you want to do that, or you just want to? I mean, you'll be going back and resting. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm gonna be on the road for.
I would say like just for, to make it a little bit more realistic, you would
Oh, wait a
probably
minute! Here's my healer's kit.
you'd probably use your healer's kit, and then I think roll for that, and then just make your way back to the keep, and rest the rest of the way. So I'll let you do a long rest when you get back or whatever. So we'll just put a button on this while we're waiting for Jesse. You get back to the keep, you get a long rest, you have the people look at your wounds, no acid damage, no anything like that. But you go back to Rita. She's still in the library. It looks like she hasn't moved. You get there in the evening. There's candles around all these books that she has been reading and studying. And you plop the head on the like. What do you do when you come in?
I walk in. I'm like, delivery.
She's like, well, oh, like you come in with this smelly head that's been on the road for a couple days rotting, right? And,
Uh-huh.
and it smells like bad seafood, like just. And she's like, oh, okay, all right. And you see her reach out, reach in her bag, get the ledger out, cross it out, and reach in her pouch and hand you the money. And she motions. She's like, count it, and she's like this, like while you're.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's all there. It's all there.
Okay, it's good. It's good.
So it was 100 golds. You now have 100 gold. And then she goes, go take that to the basement to the mutants. I don't want to see that up. She's like, as you leave, she's like, huh.
She got the.
Yeah, like the like. It would be like prestidigitation where she goes like that, and like flowers come over her head or whatever, like, like. So do you take it down to the basement?
Yeah, I take it down to the
Yeah,
basement.
I've described this before, but this is where the Order of the Mutants hang out, and they're doing research. That is not the worst thing they have seen down here. You give it the main, the brother I brought up his name. I can bring it up again. brother brother Basil, the elf. He's in like these dirty robes. He's been doing all this like research, and he's like, oh. He like nods to you, and he's like, Jorgen, it's been a gift. And he like reaches out very ornately. Do you just hand him the raw head, or do you hand it in a sack?
I handed it in the sack.
Yeah, you don't care. He's like, oh, a choker. Haven't seen one of these in a very long time. Thank you. Is this for us here?
It is.
Oh, this is good. Good gift. And he sets it down. He's like, is there? And he just plops it on the table, and you see like it's this nondescript robe figure. They're all wearing robes, like almost like the medieval equivalent of a science lab. They're wearing, like burlap robes with a hood. The guy comes over and just grabs it, and he's like, good. Is there anything you require while you're down here? Anything we can help with? One good gift deserves another gift.
Well, I know you guys are kind of tight when it comes to different kind of potions and stuff. So
I mean, we try to be accommodating. If you really need something, we could. He like looks around his vials. He's like, we could come up with something as long as it's within reason.
Okay. I'm not sure right now. I'll have to get back with you though. So
Fair enough. Just rain check. Yes.
yes.
I think that's what you human people call it. Well, even though you're half elf.
I'm like, well, I guess that's what they say.
Yeah. I forgot to ask, are your ears, like, since you're half elf, are they very pronounced, or would people really have to, like, really discern?
Well, I mean, you could tell.
Right. He's like, yes, of course, whenever, time.
All right. Well, I'll let you get back to your work, good sir.
And he bows. So do you go back up? I mean, you can go wherever and do you want me to tell you the layout of the thing again? Because I
was going to say, I think
yeah, so the basement is where the Order of the Mutants hang out. Obviously, it's their lab. If you need anything done, then you can go there. The first level is the kitchen, where everybody obviously dines. And you guys have to pull different duties by who the cook is. Obviously, you guys are excited when certain people cook and not excited when other people cook. You guys went through that the last session where somebody was horrible. And I think Jesse, his character, Elokar, took over and said, I can't believe this is food. And then the second story is the library. And it's also where, they could sleep up to 5 people. Some people come in and out. Obviously, the hunters, the blood hunters are welcome whenever. And then there's like a tower quarters for, I didn't write it down, but it's basically where the caretakers stay. Brother Kane, Brother Basil, Sister Rita, and Sister Frey. Those are like, they have their own quarters.
Yeah. Well, I think there is a nice pond outside where I can go clean myself.
Outside they do, near the stables, there is a bathhouse, and they wouldn't charge you. They charge, because they do take refugees or people passing through. They charge those people, but the hunters don't pay. Or if you do pay for service, it's an incredibly reduced rate. Like, I think when you go to the bathhouse, there's like, there's nobody there, but there's one attendant there, and you actually haven't seen. Well, actually, you know who it is? It's Horace, who you've seen before, the Order of the Mutant. He was that young kid. He is there cleaning the bathhouse when you come in, and he's like, Jorgen, how are you? How are you doing? And he comes up and like shakes your hand. He's like,
I shake his hand. I'm like, I'm good. I was like, just got back from a mission, so I was going to get a little cleaned up before I went and saw Brother Kane.
Of course. You see him, like, he doesn't use magic, so you see him. He's like, he stalks fire, starts a fire he's got raking embers around. It takes a couple minutes, but it starts getting really warm in that room, and it feels really good. And he, does the bath. They have like the tin bath or all that. He gets that going, and you can lay in it, and just like, whatever. So you have a full rest, and I'll do this. Because you're doing the bath, you're getting the whole treatment.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you 4 temporary hit points since you're laying in the bath.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, so Jesse is joining us. Elokar, it's been a while. It's been a while for all of us. So, as I said offline, I gave you the recap. What do you do when you get to Velakeep You drank the potion. You get the benefits of a long rest if you don't have that on your character. So please make sure your character has a long rest. But what do you want to do? And the way I pitched it to Jorgen was that you are obviously sore. Potions only go so much, but your soul can be tired. I don't know, maybe.
Right.
But so you need a couple days to be like, we just released a dragon from a big mountain. What do we do?
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to have my clothes washed, have a nice shower or bath, and then get some food. All the typical come home from a long day of work stuff.
Like what did Jorgen say? He said it's like when you're 40 and you wake up in the morning. For a couple days where you're like, this really hurts. This really hurts. It's basically business as usual. If you want, I can recap also I just did this. What are on the floors for the keep, because it's been a long time since we've played and you've been in the keep. It's about 4 stories. The basement is where the Order of the Mutants are, and they make potions, stuff like that. They help out when they can. Level 1 is the kitchen, so obviously the dining hall. I told Jorgen, although you guys are resting and there's usually people here, just like last time, it's very desolate and there's few hunters here. It's almost like the off season, if you consider it. So it's kind of like a skeleton crew of people, manning the keep, doing kitchen work, cleaning rooms. Then the first floor is a kitchen. The second floor is the library, where most people do their studying. You have a repository of knowledge with monsters and stuff. It's also where they can sleep up to 6 guests. And one of them is Krog, a dwarven merchant, who is also a brewer. And there's also Malin. You haven't seen Malin at all. He was a human who was an Order of the Lycan. You obviously went in with Jorgen when you guys and Ollie the kid just started working in the kitchen. And so it's pretty subdued. The people on level 3, they have private quarters of the caretakers. There's Brother Kane, who's an Order of Domain cleric. Then they have Brother Basil. He's the elven person who's running the basement with the Order of the Mutants. So he is the one you'd probably go to for all your needs. If you need a potion or something, they can do it there. Sister Rita is a female tiefling. She's an Order of Knowledge cleric. She's elderly, but still very helpful, and is kind of, she's the second in command. And Sister Frey is the Archdruid, who's basically in charge of everything, and she is the one you go to for any whatever. She's a fire genasi. So that's kind of like if you remember from the keep, there's an order of people and stuff like that. They're running everything.
Yeah.
And so what do you want to do? Like, you want to get a bath, get your clothes clean? Do you want any potions? You did go through a few of them. I know you still have your money on you, stuff like that.
Yeah, let's do, we can kind of fast forward through getting all my stuff cleaned and
this happens
dress up the wounds.
This happens over 5 days. You have a couple days to I need to go on and have another bath type stuff. It's like I still didn't get that muscle on my shoulder worked out. Like, I still need to get the
repair my weapons and armor and all that good stuff. And then I would like to go and see if I can buy some more potions.
Okay, so you go down to the basement and talk to the Order of the Mutants?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go talk to, Basil, he's like, this elderly, he's the oldest appearing person there. He's actually the tallest. It seems like everybody's either a child or short humans, and they all wear burlap robes that you can't really, like, they're indiscriminate. It's like, you're an orderly one. He's the one that has the hood down on his robe. You can see that he's an elf. And once he sees you, he's like, oh, hello.
Well, hello there.
Yeah, he's like, Lokar, how are you?
It's like doing good, buddy. I blew up a mountain. Got some.
I heard, and a dragon was released. To be honest, I didn't know that could happen. That's very, very concerning.
Yeah, it was. It was a hoot, as they say.
It was a boring Wednesday that we had.
It was a dragon bus. Perps are uncooperative, and
Okay.
But I'm looking for some potions. I'm looking for some possibly healing potions or some explodey potions. Really interested in explodey potions.
Oh. Hang on. Yeah, he says he'll get back to you in a day, because they have to obviously look through their stock and see what they have, if they can make that many or what they can make.
Yeah, what they can, That's exactly right.
He's like, but we'll get back to you. We'll rest up. You deserve it.
All right. Any recommendations? I'm asking the guy of places I should hit up. Is there any like good weapons that came in? Is there any?
He's like, well, to be honest, we don't really know that much about the dragon that you've released. So maybe I haven't really hunted that many, but maybe we have some information in our library, possibly. Or you might be able to add to what we have, because you've probably been the only one in a long time to see a dragon like that.
Fair. All right. And so, yeah, that'll be my next stop as I'm...
So you go up to the library on the second floor, and you see Rita there. She's the Order of Knowledge Cleric. It looks like she's studying for a final. When you get up there, it's evening. She has candles around her. There's books all over, it looks like, and she's taking notes. And
I'll walk up to her, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to interrupt what she's saying.
She stops, puts her coat in, and she's like, "Oh, Elikar, I haven't. How are you? Are you okay? I of course heard what happened."
Well, you know those moments when you're walking down the street and a cart runs you over and doesn't stop, and you're like, "What's the name of that driver?" And then, but you never find out. It's like one of those days.
She's like, yes, Ollie made it sound like you took a bit of a tumble. He's very quiet, but he said it was pretty far to fall to.
Yeah. Good thing he arrested my fall with his body, and that was good for him, and mostly me, but also I'm sure he feels like he contributed. Because I wasn't as... I'm not that bad, actually. He is really bad, because I landed on him. But, it's all good.
Well, we have some medics here that can tend to him, and he is young, so he...
Yeah, he was super bouncy, It was, like, not a problem.
He's like rubber, that guy.
He's like rubber, that dude.
You haven't really seen Ollie. He's been in the kitchen and stuff, so you haven't really had the eye contact thing yet of like him just staring you down or whatever. Like the, like well, like the.
It's like so. Look who it is.
Look who it is.
Yeah. Anyway, so here to gain some more knowledge about the dragon and then explain what I saw, so you can kind of make notes and capture that as well.
You see her. Kind of go, yes, the dragon. She goes, I'm glad you said that, and she like moves her books, and on the very bottom, she slides over a book with a red cover, and it looks like it is made from dragon scale, the cover, and it's got a clasp. And it says in, what are your languages again that you speak? I'm trying to...
That's a great question. Common.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's written in common. I don't want
to... I'm a human, man. I was like...
you're half elf. Are you half
elf? Yeah, no. Am I half elf? Oh my god.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Where does it even say that?
Up top.
It says human.
Oh, you are human. Okay. For some reason I thought you were. Oh, Jorgen's half elf, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, human, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're human. Okay. She's like, well, there you go. This is our. It's what we know of dragons, and on the cover in like very, like, beautiful script, like golden script on this, like it looks like red dragon scale. It says, Fizban's Field Guide to Dragons. Right on the top.
And is it in Draconian?
No, it's in common.
Oh, it's in common. Okay.
It's like the dumb version. No, I'm sure he wrote it in several languages. He's one of those guys that wants to sell copies, I'm sure.
What's interesting is I was looking under the features, and it says I can pick another language. I just never did.
Oh, okay.
So
well, you can do that whenever. Maybe decide when you want to do that. Yeah. Yeah. So do you start going through the book and everything?
Yep. I'm gonna start reading that.
Are you looking? Obviously, you're looking for this dragon, right? So give me an Arcana check because you are literally studying right now. So give me with advantage. Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, with advantage.
Yeah, let me know when you get. Oh, I got the game log up.
I got 17.
Okay, you're able to find there is kind of this. This takes a long time. It's one of those things where you're literally burning a candle, like trying to read because it's at night. You do find that there is this kind of like theoretical thing where necromancers sometimes mess with dragons, and what you saw fly out of the spire happens. Like maybe they're infected with the Shadowfell or something. This is something that theoretically happens, but nobody has any sketches or any real details about the dragon. They just know that yes, but the one thing you do read in there, and since you did really well, is you do realize as you're reading that they are susceptible to sunlight. They like dark places.
Oh, I'm not a fan of tanning.
Not tanners, no.
Not a tanner fan. Okay. All right. Duly noted.
Yeah, and then is there anything else? Do you just want to know about this dragon, or do you want to keep reading, or?
Now that I kind of have a weakness, I want to go and see if I can learn anything about liches.
Oh.
I may know some things about liches already, but I want to go see if they have any.
I am looking up liches as well because I want to know what it is. Yes, so now you have an advantage if you want to look something up on liches.
Yes, I would like to look up.
It is undead, which you get Fey, Fiend, or Undead, you have an advantage. So you have an advantage on looking this stuff up. So do you ask Rita, do you have a book? Do you look? You can look through the library if you want. It's open to all the hunters. Do you want to look or do you want to ask her?
I'll ask her first.
She looks up. She doesn't stop writing. She's still got her quill in her hand. She looks up. She's like, over in this section over there, the common tongue ones are written to the right bottom over there, and she like points you in the direction of the other books, and you see a whole section. And these books look old, like parchment. Like some of them even have cobwebs on them and everything like that. Like. I guess no one cares about liches.
No one cares. It's like liches, snitches.
Yeah.
I'll also ask her if there's a language that she would think that's best for gaining knowledge of these type of, and I could if there's a book on that language.
She says, "Can I take a day to think about that?" She says,
Yeah.
She says, "I know several languages, but I'm trying to think." They all that you know of, like, I'm not going to make you roll insight. Knowledge domain clerics literally are like sponges. Like, they suck everything up. They get, their deity is like, you want to learn a trait? Here you go. So, like, her thing is like, yeah, what would be? Because, like, it just comes to me, Like, I pray to somebody and I learn stuff. So, what would I recommend? So, she's really thinking about it. Like, so, yeah. So, just give her a bit and then you should.
Okay. And I'll go to that section to look for the Lich book in the meantime.
Okay. You pull a book out. And it just, all it has is, like, the stereotypical picture of a lich.
Got it. All right, so this is the book I'm reading?
Yeah, basically. And what it is we'll roll, but what's on the cover is just that stereotypical drawing of a lich. So it is just that. And then there's no text. It's just that outline silhouette of the lich, like, on the cover, like, embossed. And it looks... I'm not going to make you roll, but it does look like it's skin or some kind of old something, membrane that the book's made out of, but it has real paper pages in it. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
What do you want to roll about? What are you trying to find out about liches? Just generally read about them, or?
Just how to find them, how to then destroy them.
Okay. Give me a roll with advantage.
Okay. It's over. I was checking what I've done with my class because I realized I'm like 2 levels in wizard. I'm like, what's that about?
It has been a long time. It's been a long time.
All right, Arcana, and oh my God, 10 with advantage. Yeah.
You know that if you find their lair, is like where you can really do the most amount of damage. But finding their lair is pretty difficult. They don't advertise where they hang out at night, or where they hang out for the day and things like that.
Gotcha.
That's kind of like the main takeaway. So
Okay.
I imagine you're trying to go after Kaladin or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaladin.
Yeah.
That bastard. All right, so so I'm like, all right, I think I got it now. There's some, and do I learn about the phylactery or no?
You do, yeah. You learn that they have to like be. If you destroyed that, that's where it's very difficult to, it's difficult to find. But if you find that, that's when you can truly like destroy them and stuff like that. So,
Okay. Because I know about liches, but I don't know my character knows about liches. All right, so okay, go ahead.
As you're doing that, finishing up, you like. When you're done with that, do you want to read anything else? Or are you going to go down to the kitchen, or are you going to go somewhere else, or are you just going to sit up there and read?
I was just gonna. I mean, kind of when I'm done with that, I'm probably gonna go get some, rations for the next couple of weeks, that type thing,
Yeah,
and then.
when you go down to the kitchen, you see Jorgen come in with a massive satchel, and he smells like old seafood. So Jorgen, you come in the kitchen, and you actually see Elakar there, like grabbing rations from the storeroom, like off of the side of the kitchen. You guys just kind of bump into each other, but Jorgen smells horrible. And you can tell the satchel he has next to him is like dripping with like weird ichor or something,
All right. So, late night snack you got there? What's going on here?
Just we needed a true W, so I had to go kill something. So I felt like we didn't lose
Everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll give him a high five.
Yeah.
Jorgen, you go off to claim your whatever, your prize and all that, your money. Elakar, you get all your rations and everything.
Okay.
And Jorgen, do you go back down to the kitchen after you're done with your? Is that where you went after you collected your? We got to back up a little bit. I forgot. Did you go back down?
I showered.
That's right. So you see Jorgen going out to the bathhouse, and he comes back probably 40 minutes later, rested. He has the weight of the world off his shoulders and stretching, and he sits down at the kitchen. And you guys both know, I'm not going to make you roll, that the person that's cooking tonight is actually Brother Basil, the Order of the Mutant guy, but he is actually a very good cook. So you see him like preparing food and stuff like that. And as he's preparing dinner, a few more people shuffle in. You actually see Ollie, and it's not mad, he's not mean, he just nods and then he's like serving. So he like serves you guys like a pretty good dinner and everything like that. And you see a couple more people shuffle in. You see Krog, the mead, the Dwarven brewer that had been there before. He sits down, and you see all the people in charge sit down at the table, except for obviously Brother Basil. They sit down. Frey, Rita, Kane, they all sit down and they start eating. And they're like, are you like? You see Corgi's like, are you guys feeling better? And he pours mead. He's got a barrel on his back, and he pours mead from that, and he hands you ale. Like he takes your mug, gives both you guys ale. He's like, you guys feeling better?
Doing better now.
Now that I have alcohol, I'm doing much better.
I'm doing much better.
A nice shower, a bath, some alcohol, and some good food with some good people.
Yeah, the food is actually really good. You're surprised because last time, if I remember right, Elakar had to cook because he was so pissed off that like he's like, this cannot be food. So he had to go go do that. While you're there, you see this man like burst in the door, and he's like and he's like sweating, and he's got like a human. He probably is like 20, and you see he's just caked in mud and sweat, and he's running in, and he slams a letter on the table, and he falls over on the side of the table, and everybody's like this, and you see Ollie go over and help him up, and he's like
I'll go and grab the letter.
Do you say anything to him, or?
Well, he's getting helped. I'm just grabbing the letter and read it.
Okay. You're like,
I
somebody's
hand
got
him
that.
some ale.
Obviously, the mail is urgent.
He's like, and he like drinks the ale. He's like, oh, and he like looks at you and he's like, gives you a thumbs up, and you open the letter, and it says, it basically says, my name is Watt.
I'm reading out loud.
Okay. It basically says, it says, my name is Watt. I'm a member of the Order of Lycan, and I need assistance at the town of Mir. And he says, there's been a problem, and I need someone to come help me. I can't leave from where I'm at, but as of this writing, I am not in danger.
All right.
We know where Mir is.
Yeah, you've heard of that town. It's one of those places that if you're on horseback and you blink, you will miss it. But you have stopped a couple times to get like oats and hay. It's got a small, it's just a small little hole in the wall for a town. They don't even have an inn or it's more of a collection of homes on a hill, basically.
All right. Okay. I'll look over at Jorgen and just like shrug, like, yeah.
That's my people. I need to go.
Yeah, that is that is the Watt. It's not a different Watt. That is him.
Let me go get some equipment, and I'll meet you over by the horses.
All right. I look at the other people sitting down at the table. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I have to go.
Like, of course, please, if your order needs you, then, by all means.
And then I get up and I start heading outside to get.
Okay.
And I'll go get my bombs or whatever.
Okay, so you go down. Well, yeah, because Brother Basil's like cleaning up, cooking. If you ask him, he's like, just go downstairs and talk to Horace. He'll help you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. He was supposed to get me a potion.
Oh, yeah, you get a freebie. If you haven't decided what you want, you can keep that rain check for it.
There was one I saw. What was that potion's name?
So, Jesse, when you go down there, Elikar, when you go down to pick up your bombs, Horace says, I'm sorry, but all we have was enough to make 3 bombs.
Okay.
It'll be $75, 75 gold a pop for materials.
Okay.
So 75 times 3, you do the math.
Gotcha.
Where'd it go?
And the one that I said the damage for what I looked up was the one that do 3d6. Is that what you wanted, just a stock bomb?
I mean, if that's the ones he got, that's the ones he got, right?
Yeah, it's their 3d6. They do fire damage, and he gives you some tar.
Cool.
Like it won't affect the bomb. You see, like there's a, you can whatever. So he gives you a little bit of tar if you want to make them.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll make a couple of sticky bomb if I can do it, beforehand. I don't know.
Well, I would say that you can't really train. You got to do it like the moment,
Oh, okay.
Because the tar is in like a pot. You have to spread it on the bomb and then throw it, or whatever. So.
Got it. Okay. It's a little pot of tar.
Yeah, he didn't pre-coat them, so.
Gotcha. Okay, and pre-coating them's not a deal. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be like a bonus action to do that and then huck them.
Tar.
You guys, it would take about a week to get to Mir from where you guys are. You basically go southwest of, the whatever. Nobody, since it's the off season, you two are really the only ones that are capable of leaving the keep or want to. Of course, Krog is still I want to say Korg all the time. Krog is like kind of a resident there. He's brewing stuff for people and everything. Both you guys give me a. Give me a. Give me a. Give me a history check, both you guys. Straight roll, no advantage.
Okay.
3.
Wow. That's with the +2.
Yeah.
19.
I rolled a 1 again.
Oh, no, here we go.
19 for me.
So you remember, Elikar, that Alaris, the tiefling that was traveling with you, and Krog are from Mir. That's the town they're from. So they said a fissure opened up and swallowed the town, and they both ran. And then when they met at the keep, they were like, did anybody else make it out? And Alaris was like, no, I think you and I are the only ones that made it out. Like a big shadow well basically opened up and swallowed the town. A fissure of Shadowfell energy or something.
Okay.
So yeah.
I'm going to explain all that. And that I remember that stuff. I don't know. I don't think I do anything with that information as far as...
You just tell Jorgen.
Yeah, just tell Jorgen.
Jorgen, do you want to do anything? Like, you're like, hey, wait a minute. Like, he tells you all that. You're like, oh, yeah.
Tells me that the other two were the only ones.
Yeah,
that got out of
the two refugees were from that town,
I remember they were talking about how that was bad, some bad mojo or something, so...
And do you reread the letter, like, when you're on the road? Like, from Wyatt? Wow, it's been so long, hang on. Watts. Yeah, Watts. Watts, by the way, as a reminder, was part of your order when you hooked up. He was a male gnome who had a temper. And so he was like a little itty-bitty...
You're talking about mine, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the one who wrote the note. But I'm just refreshing your memory. He was the one that has a temper that was always mad. You're like, all right, sorry, Watt. Jeez. Like, he was the one that would hit first and ask questions later.
He was, he wouldn't hit me, but...
Other people he get mad at.
Other people, yeah. Because if he hit me, I'm going to pick him up and throw his ass.
So, the first few days, you guys, I'm just going to fast forward, you set watch. Nothing happens. You experience almost what Elikari experienced, what Jorgen experienced on the road, which was there's very few animals out and there's very little noise. Jorgen thought maybe that was from the dragon, maybe. But yeah, there's nothing discernible happening at camp. It goes off without a hitch. You guys have different, time set up for camp. So is there anything you guys want to do, like research or anything like that, while you're talking?
Well, we can talk, but I was going to say, I don't know how much research we can do when we're on the road.
Yeah. Or you could just chat about what happened or transpired or whatever.
So, yeah, I was going to say, while we were kind of out of it, I got up one morning and Grog was like, hey, can you, take care of this? He showed me basically a job request for, what was that thing called?
Choker.
A choker.
Uh-huh.
Like a guy-looking thing with, octopus arms that grabs a hold of you and basically chokes you. So I went over, killed it magnificently, and came back.
Nice.
Yeah, blew his leg off with electricity.
Ah, that's cool. The funnest way.
Yeah.
I was about to say, oh no, I'm gonna take an L, and then all of a sudden the roll started hitting right, and I just pow pow pow.
Yeah.
Hex yeah. Oh man. Yeah, and I'll just tell him about what I had read, about the dragon that's probably raised by a lich, and then that it's weak to light, and so are liches. And that's sort of stuff.
I really should have taken the cleric instead of the.
When he leveled up. Yeah, maybe. Who could say? No, it'll be fine. I'm not gonna kill you just because you took one level of cleric.
Huh?
Now you're dead.
Yeah, but no, 2 levels of cleric would have been
Oh, the Explovia
die.
death.
Yeah.
Would have been good. So towards the end of the fifth day, you do like crest a hill of where Mir would be. You guys both know where it is, and you see literally what looks like a town that folded in on itself. You see the big fissure, and I'm not gonna make you roll, but there's that weird smoke kind of wisping out of the fissure that you guys have seen at Fort Garment, the other places you've been to, where there's been some kind of Shadowfell magic, that weird ethereal oily mist that's coming out of the hole, but it's very faint, and it looks like it is mostly dissipated. But you see houses collapsed. Some of them are against each other, like they were across the street, and they have been smashed together. You see the fissure going through. Just pretty much, like I said, these were houses on a hill, so it looks like there's no discriminate way. You know, this wasn't planned. It just happened almost like an earthquake or something. And there's probably about 10 homes in various states of disarray. So you guys can look or, you know, investigate or whatever, how you...
Yeah. I'm going to investigate, and I'm also going to be looking out for...
Watts?
What?
I'll just do you first, Jorgen. So you want to give me an investigation check.
Just a regular one?
Yes, just a regular one.
I got a 10.
It's not bad. You see more of that mist that's going around, and you see, you find, you don't see people. You just see belongings. So gather from that what you will, but it appears that everything is pretty much in place if the houses aren't fallen over. Like if you, like, there's 3 houses you go to as you're exploring that are untouched by the fissures or were untouched, and it looks like everybody was like the rapture, like they just vanished. None of the like goods are, you know, like none of the tables and chairs are moved, the wardrobes, everything's folded, like beds are made. Even though there wasn't a lot of people in this town, and it looks like it was people of small means, everything was very orderly in these houses. But you don't see any people whatsoever. Ellicott, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm like, Ellicott, I don't even know what to say about this, but yeah, if you want, we can go check different areas and see what we can find.
So I'm going to divide it between east and west, the way the fissure went through the town. So you either go to the east side or the west side.
I'll go to the west side.
Okay.
West side?
Of course. West side for life. Ellicott, do you want to give me an investigation check as you're looking through these homes? Or what are you doing? Ellicott?
Oh, sorry.
I was like, I thought we lost it. It looked like you were really trying to hear me, like the sound went out or something. Like,
I thought we were having another one of those what's his name moments.
yeah, God, yeah. Like, what?
Yeah, having a moment there, guys. All right, so I will go.
You're on the west side.
On the west side.
I'll make it really simple. There's 5 houses on the west side, 5 houses on the east side. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
17 here.
I'll search through the 5 houses, just whatever's
just
closest to me.
Just give me an investigation check as you're kind of going through.
Got it. Come on, 22.
Wow. So you see basically what Jorgen described as you guys split off, you know? He kind of yelled over the fizzer, hey, and you're like, okay. You see much of the same thing. Let me look something up really quick, though. Okay. Ellicott, are you there?
So all of
Yep.
that, or
Okay.
none of that?
So, while you're searching, can you give me an Arcana check, a straight Arcana roll?
Okay.
Everyone sees it.
Whoops, clicked the wrong button.
At school.
Hold on.
Wow, very athletic. Okay.
Very athletic. Oh, we're all right. 6.
Okay, yeah, you just see more of that misty whatever, but
Yep.
again, is there anything that specifically you're looking for, or are you just trying to take it all in and, you know?
I'm not looking for any. I mean, we're just, we're kind of investigating what the heck's happening here, and like we're trying to look for that other guy, and the guy on in the letter,
Yeah,
Watts.
Yeah.
Yeah, start writing names down.
So, you do notice on the east side when you go through your homes, everything's immaculate, like folded, like except for the ones that got smashed together. You look over and it kind of looks the same as what he saw. Jorgen, can you, while you're searching the east side, can you also give me an Arcana check?
Arcana? Absolutely not.
Yeah, again, you see more of that mist, but as you're searching, you can see more of that mist, but you notice there is one house that, like, the fissure on it, it comes in like the S, and what happens is the one fissure stops right before it gets to one house that is neither east nor west. It's like they're all kind of dispersed out, but one house is kind of at the center of town, and the fissure stopped right there. And there's mist kind of, when you guys kind of, as you're working through and kind of exploring everything, it's basically like you get to a point, and around this house, you see the mist around the foundation, like, and this thing looks like a shack, like the size of my office, like 10 by 12 or whatever. You're just like, what the, like it could be an outhouse or what, something. Well, biggest outhouse ever, but.
I kind of motion over and go.
Yeah, Elakar, you approach a couple seconds after that. You like walk up the hill, Oh, you're muted.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, those are sounds. Yep. Yeah, I get over there.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna make you roll. You guys have already done well investigating. You see that mist, and it's like it's encasing the foundation. It's coming up from all 4 points of the foundation. This weird mist.
Okay. I'll use. I have these wizard spells now, so I can kind of do some cool stuff. I'll use prestidigitation to clear out. Is it clean or soil an object? So does the mist count as being dirty? Not really, huh?
No, but you could move the mist with that. It would, because it looks like it's just coming up, as vapor.
Up, out?
Yeah.
Okay. Instead, I'm just going to cast the light spell on myself, and then kind of slowly walk down into the. Yeah.
Okay. You're like, think. Like, yeah.
And because I learned so just you might want to refresh my character sheet. I added a different spell and a different cantrip as part of one of my long rests when we were moving over here.
Totally fine.
Yeah, and one of them was replacing my firebolt with light, so I don't have any ranged, but I also have expeditious retreat.
Okay. Cool.
That's it. Okay, so yeah, that'll give me some, better vision into that hole with all that stuff, and I'll start heading down that direction.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is on top of the hill, and there's a door that appears to be locked. And it's really strange because this actually is like a metal lock on this door, and all the other homes, they don't have that kind of money. So this looks like this is purposely, you're just like, what the, like it looks like some kind of, it could be, you guys have traveled a bit, it could be something to do with like meats or like refrigeration or something for the town, like a storeroom, for the town.
Okay. Could be Watts.
Let me out.
Could be
Yeah,
Watts.
here's somebody yelling.
I'll call over. I'm assuming Jorgen's right behind me. He's like, "Hey, got a jar of pickles here for you."
Pickles.
These are not pickles. Like he gets mad. Those are.
It's like it's an expression. I got something that's stuck closed. Mind ripping that lock off its hinges?
Do I need to do a strength check?
Yeah, you have advantage, right? Or do you got to Hulk out first?
I
always forget.
I don't remember.
I think you have to Hulk out first, which isn't a big deal.
It doesn't matter. I got you. That's my one for the week.
and then you just give me a strength check with advantage. To try.
I just rolled a 20.
Well, there you go then. Yeah, you see, he just rips the lock off the door, like his, just and like throws it, and the door just swings open. This place looks completely empty, like nothing is in there. The mist that's in there is not inside; it's only outside. So, can both of you again give me an Arcana check?
All right.
I just got a 20. You know damn well.
That's it.
15.
Oh, 17.
You guys both go to walk through, and you're like walking around, and like, what are you guys doing when you get in? When you
Looking around.
Looking around.
Do you touch anything, or are you just like with your eyes?
I mean, I have a.
What are we seeing? That's kind of.
It just looks like an empty room with like wood planks, like a four-sided wooded room that is completely empty.
I'm like looking on the floor, seeing if there's like a trap door, or if one of the walls, or like an illusion spell.
So
or something
the
like
moment
that.
you go to step over and you go to like one area, your foot like goes through the floor like an illusion. And when you do that, like the illusion dissipates and you see steps going down.
Oh.
Okay, are we ready to go down?
I guess so. And is there mist coming up from that
No,
hole?
It's completely clean.
Clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Close the door behind us, though.
Alright, I'll close the door behind us.
As you guys are walking down the stairs, you see you're going down this really narrow stairwell, and you see these two red eyes looking up at you, and it doesn't grow or shift or change, but you just see like a silhouette of breathing, and it just gets to the end of your light spell, so you see a little bit of a shadow on this. It is this small lichen type goblin creature, like a mini werewolf, kind of in a way.
Watch.
You see him like look up at you, and then you see him fade back into like, he didn't Hulk out, and he's like, and you see this little gnome, or sorry, I said it wrong.
He is a gnome, I think.
Now I have to look at my. Yeah, he is a gnome. He's like, you see his hair is crazy. He's like, Jorgen, you got my letter?
Yeah, I did.
And he goes, did anybody follow you?
I said I got another guy with me named Alakar.
Yeah. He's going like that because of your light spell. He's like, yep.
Yeah, he's human. Can't see in the dark.
Sorry, guys. Wah, wah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. He's like, all right, well, if you weren't followed, come with me.
Okay.
You guys walk down the stair, and when you get to the bottom, it's like this massive room opens up, and you can turn your lights still off. Elakar, these braziers are on the corners, so they're lighting the room up. This looks like
let it fade.
this. You do see that mist that you saw before in the basement. Now the basement is stone, so you see these stone slabs, and you see the mist kind of going over your guys' feet and everything like that. And what you see is this looks like the ricketiest lab you've ever seen in your life. But you see, Jorgen, especially, you see this. Oh, actually, both of you guys see it. The creatures you bought before in the caves, before you got to Vela Keep, there was those weird werewolf creatures, that were like, they look like they were possessed or something. Those weird wolf creatures. Yeah. You see 4 of them hanging from hooks, and some of them are in those stereotypical medieval metal cages. 2 of them are in those cages like on the outsides, and 2 of them are on hooks in the middle, and you see blood on the cages and stuff, and they're just kind of like in different positions. The 2 on the hooks.
When we went to the hag's house, they were at the hag's house
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you see them, and you see like there's like vials below them collecting like ichor that's falling from them. Each one has like these weird things, and you see these notebooks that are on the table. And you see Watts come over, and you see him. He's done digging, and he's burying something. And you see him as soon as you guys get down there, and Elakar's looking at it. He motions for you to come help him. There's a dire wolf that looks like it's been unaffected by any curse or any of this mist, but it's dead. And he's digging a hole and burying it.
I go to look.
Yeah, he's like, give me a hand.
Yeah. I help him out.
All right. Elakar.
If I can give a hand too, I will.
Yeah, you guys bury him, and he's like, you guys were the first ones to actually answer the letter. Surprised it got to it. I didn't think that runner was going to make it. Wow. And he's like, so what brings you to Mir? And he starts like, he's got this big grin on his face. He's like, come with me. And he's like, what the heck? Like he's like, sorry, I've been alone a couple days. And you see him start looking through everything. He's like, so this is what I found. And he takes this stone jar that was like behind one of the hanging creatures, and he brings it out and he opens a jar up, and you just see mist start to spill out of the ground, like that weird shadowy ichor like spill on the ground. And you see it like spill over the ground, and it starts becoming this specter that just like starts to form and hang there, and it looks like a bald elvish woman, and then it fades away into mist. And then he puts the lid back on the jar. And he's like, that's happened 4 times. Every time I open the jar, that happens and it fades away. I wait a day, do that again, see that same image, fades away. I don't get it.
Maybe it was somebody that they've experimented on or done something to, and it's showing like the specter of that person.
Could be. But check this out. And he says, I found this, and he reaches under the table and pulls out this massive chest. It's locked, and you can see the lock has been beaten and messed up, but he couldn't open it. But he says, he are you going to Hulk out again and try to, he goes, I tried, good luck. He looks at Jorgen, he's like, I mean, if you think you can open it.
21.
Yeah, so you just Hulk out and just rip the latch off, and he's like, okay, all right. You open it up, and there's writing in there. There's like journals and scrolls. It's just like a big chest of writing, and like there's like some tombs, like just various works of whatever. He's like, oh, and he starts looking through them, and he's like, can you guys read Infernal?
Not me.
Yeah. You're like, damn, maybe. Like,
Damn it. Abyssal, primordial, no infernal.
he says, well, he says, do you know anybody that could read this stuff?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, well, he goes, I have a bad feeling about this place, so maybe we should leave. Have you guys seen this before? I haven't seen anything like this. And he points up at the wolves.
Yes, we have.
He's like, what are
We've
they?
seen it a couple of times. We saw it at some hags place. Which hags were those? Were those moon hags or dark?
Night hags.
Night hags.
That's it, yeah. We saw them at the night hags, and we saw them somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Do you want to take one of them back with us?
We can. I mean, they might have some kind of idea of what they were doing to them. What do you think, Elakar?
Yeah, sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah. You guys have fell enough creatures into these things are dead. They're not going to re. Elakar, actually, roll me an Arcana check. You being the ghost slayer.
Yeah.
Natural
you might know
one.
something about the woman. Oh God.
Yeah, you poke them, they look pretty bad. You know, you're like, we're fine.
I've seen better.
Yeah.
Hey, yes, but let me ask you, Elakar, that specter that was popping up of the woman.
Actually, you get our advantage. I'm sorry, Elakar, you want to roll again?
Oh, okay.
Because this is like your field of expertise.
Oh, that's true. Oh, that's better. 16.
It's dead. And it appears that it hasn't been, for you know of the undead, this hasn't been affected by being risen or anything, you know? There isn't.
Oh, okay.
This is like a creature, a new creature.
A new creature.
Yeah. Or some kind of experiment or something.
experimental
Because
creatures.
you've studied like risen creatures and stuff like that.
Right.
This isn't that.
Okay.
Sorry, what were
I'll
you
explain
gonna
that.
say? Yeah, what were you gonna say, Gerard? Sorry.
Oh no, I was just asking him what, since he is one of the ghost people, what he thought about that specter that popped up. If he might know anything about that.
Oh,
Wanna take
that's
that
good.
first?
Good.
I feel like man brings up a good point. Let's see if
I mean,
you can roll again.
that is your expertise.
Yeah, I'll let you
All right.
roll.
All right, rolling on advantage with that. 19.
It's pretty good. You don't know that much about the Shadowfell, but you do know people can send spectral messages back and forth. It is something that like necromancers do every once in a while.
Gotcha.
But you've never seen what that was, like that ghost or whatever that came out, the weird bald elvish woman in like.
Maybe we should
leather.
take that jar with us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just explain. Like, yeah, it's weird. I don't know. That's crazy. I haven't seen that one before. I don't know.
Man, I'm going to talk to my supervisor. I don't
I gotta talk to my supervisor about that
I've
one.
never heard of that.
All right, well, why don't we grab this stuff and get out of here as quick as possible, then?
Okay.
Yeah. Watts is very thankful to be on a horse. He asked if you guys have any food or water because he has actually been without food and water for a few days.
Yeah, I give him some rations.
Okay. He chows through 2 days of rations in about 30 minutes. Like it's like he is starving. So deduct the rations, but yeah, he's very. And as you guys are riding back, he's like.
I'll give him a mug of ale too.
Oh, okay, that's very nice. All right, hang on.
Yeah.
He's gonna get some temporary hit points for that, for your.
Yeah.
Nice. 4 temporary hit points he gets, so that was very nice of you. How many beers can you get out of a gallon of beer? I've never done the math.
Well, it's a pony keg.
Oh.
It's not just a gallon. That's 29 liters.
So there's what, a liter and a pint? What is it? No, that's like. I know an imperial pint is 20 ounces.
How many liters are in a pint?
We're all researching alcohol. The adventure is off to a good.
473.
Okay.
61 drinks.
Holy shazbot. Okay.
Okay. It's the main package that the Baggins carries is
Right.
basically a little pony. I mean, it's not little. It's somewhat bigger.
Nice. Okay, so you guys make your way back to Velakeep, I take it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. When you're on your way back, he's like, he's like, have you guys, so you guys have, he just keeps, he's like, so you guys have seen this before, those creatures, like,
Yeah.
Are they formidable, or, I mean, I just saw him as dead, is it
We-
bad?
I think everyone we've seen, with the exception of 2, were all dead, and they were a little rough, but it was also a while back, so we've been dealing with this mist and this shadow stuff going on for a while now. If you notice, there's actually a mountain over there that's missing. Yeah, that
You
was
see him
us.
look up, and he's like, what? And then he stares at it for a couple seconds. I'm going to, hang on. He's like,
That was
you did that? And he looks at you.
Yeah. You know.
we did that.
Yeah.
He's like, he goes, right before I went in the hole, as it were, I heard something about a dragon got released. Did you guys know about that?
Yeah, that was
also us.
That was also same spot. All that happened there.
Oh, okay. So you guys released a dragon and blew up a mountain. So same normal type stuff.
I mean,
normal Tuesday.
You know, it was fun.
Now we gotta track that dragon.
And I was like, a lesson there is always keep bombs on your person. And I'll pull out one and show him my bomb and
He's
put
like,
it back.
Yeah, I guess I'll remember that if I ever run into a dragon. And
Either that or
he's on your
Alchemist
horse,
Fire.
Jorgen. He's on your horse, by the way. He's like,
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you guys make it back to Keep with all your stuff, and they let Watts in, and you see they nod to Watts and everything. What's the first thing you guys want to do when you get back? It's yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Who, like, when we go in, where, like, are everybody in their, like, respected areas?
Yeah, pretty much. Rita is studying. You haven't seen Freya.
Well, I was gonna say we could take the beast down to the basement
Yeah.
and see if we can get them to check it out and get information off of them. So we go down, Master Basil, we brought you a gift, something that you might want to study.
You see him just like, oh my, and he looks at the head and he holds it, and like Icar again is like coming off it, and he's just staring. He's like, interesting, and he sets it down, and you see him pull the old jeweler's thing out, with the magnifying glass, and he pulls out some knives and sticks it in the head, and just starts instantly like looking at it, and he's got like tweezers and stuff. He's like, my, and he's like, looking at it and like cuts a part of the ear off and stuff, like. And the moment you hand it over, and he just like one of those rude things where he's like, my, and just leaves, like.
I'll be like, yeah, we'll leave into it. We'll come back later and find out. Yeah, if Watts is with us, I said, yeah, just he's.
You see Watts just like.
He's like a kid in a candy store right now.
He's like, do you hang out with them? He's like, as you guys are going up the stairs, he's like, do you hang out with those mutant people a lot? Because I haven't heard a lot of good things.
I mean, I've had plenty of dealings with them since I've been over here working on this. They're not bad people. They're just weird.
Did you go down with him, Elikar, or were you staying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of part of the group there.
Yeah, he's like, where are we right now, actually?
Oh, I tell him, this is Velikar Keep.
Vela. It's called Vela Keep.
Keep, yeah.
Or Vela Keep.
Wait, Vela Keep? I thought this. And he like looks around and goes, "This isn't Vela Keep." Like,
this is Vela Keep.
No. He goes,
You're right. It's not. You got us.
Yeah, like, we just took you to a random place.
Yeah. Let us know when you figure it out.
Man. All right. Here's a couple.
So then I was like, all right, well, you want to go take the books and all that stuff up to
the librarian.
Yeah.
Rita. Yeah,
Rita.
So yeah, we head up to Rita.
And you just slam it down in front of her, basically, like all the.
And I'll put the books down like it's like, look what we brought for you, as each one's.
You just see her like literally just like move everything and just go over to the thing, and she's like, where did you? What is this? And she looks at both of you. She looks at Watch. She's like, what is all this?
It came from one of the laboratories.
Mm-hmm. And it's in Infernal, right?
She goes,
and it's an Infernal.
Oh, that's not a problem. You see her look down, and she goes, but we were looking for the third lab. Remember? We didn't find it. You found this? And Watts is like, you see Watts? Both of you guys make an insight check for me.
I can't.
Nope.
All right. Insight.
16.
Hey.
11.
You don't need to get that high. You see Watts, he literally does, he's like, licks his eyebrows, and he's like, well, sometimes some of us work a little bit harder than other people, and we're able to stumble on what you might consider to be the best discovery of your life. And he leans on the table, but because he's so short, it's like shoulder high. And he's like, I'm Watts, by the way. I don't know if these heathens here didn't introduce me, but nice to meet you. And she's like, yes, nice to meet you, and like shakes his hand. He's like, if you need help going through this, I mean, I kind of, I could read it. So
I look at Rita and says, he doesn't get out that much.
She's like, you see her go, and she's like, well, actually, it would be nice to have somebody here that is. Did you find it? And he's like, I found it. Yeah, I found it. It was it was hard. I almost died. And then he kind of like, anyway, if you need help going through it, I could totally go through it. Maybe we need to work late. We might have to work all hours of the night. And she's like, do you see her? She's like not really listening to him. Her head's just down in the chest, like going through the. She's like,
I look at Watts and I'm like, that's enough.
You hit him. You just hit his shoulder, like knock it out.
Yeah, I'm like,
he's like,
knock that shit off.
He's like, I won't make you roll, but he whispers. He's like, I'm just, because you guys have better hearing. I'm just saying, like, should we need help going through all this stuff. It's very confusing. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, I get you.
Okay. He's like, well, anyway, do you need, he like looks at Rita, he's like, do you need anything to drink? I mean, I get really thirsty when I read stuff. Do you need some ale or something? And she's like, I'm fine. He's like, I'll get us some ale. He's like, and he just starts bounding.
Wings again.
You just see him start bounding down the stairs to go get ale.
Go back.
And you guys are just sitting up there like, what the heck? Like he just took off.
I'm like, I apologize. He doesn't get he doesn't go around a lot of people for most part. So, and I guess he was trapped. We went to that city. What was it?
Mirror.
Mirror.
The name of the town, yeah.
We went to Mirror, and that's where that other lab was. It was actually in Mirror.
Oh.
And
Interesting. She goes, we had many scouts, but we didn't think to look for a place that was, in peril.
And that mist is kind of all around the area.
But no enemies around. No
There
undead.
was no enemies or nothing of the sort.
You see her start writing on a piece of parchment. She's like, maybe they thought they were going to be found out or something. She goes, you didn't happen to bring any of that mist back, did you?
We got something in a jar that has mist in it.
But it turns into, like, it makes the form of a ethereal person or like a spiritual person, and then it dissipates.
Well, somebody's here. His name is Malin. He knows a little bit about the Shadowfell. I believe I told you about him earlier, but you've been on the road. You may have forgotten.
Yeah.
But he's actually down in the basement. Or last time I saw him, he might be in the kitchen. I don't know. But if you find him, heavily scarred human, older, elderly. I don't know how he does what he does anymore. But if you find him, you might be able to find some info from him, I guess. But I'm going to look through these. So.
Okay. Well, we'll leave you to it. If you need us, holler. But we're gonna go take this down there.
As you're turning around to leave, she goes, Elakar?
Yo.
What up?
What's up?
She says, do you still want to learn a language?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like maybe Infernal would be a good one to learn.
She goes, I can do that. If you help me go through these, I can teach you Infernal. It'll take a bit of time, but, with their help, and she, like, kisses her holy symbol and looks up at the sky. She's like, I'll be able to do it quickly.
Okay. You got a deal.
Yeah.
All right, Elakar, I'll leave you to this. I'll go take that jar with the stuff and find the guy.
Peace out, my man, and I'll give him a fist bump.
Don't blow anything up without me.
Don't blow anything up without me.
Not in
You
this place
either.
anyway. I want to do that. So I'll just go to Elakar. You just sit with her. She's very meticulous about sorting through everything. She's getting like all the books in one place, all the scrolls in one place, all the journals in one place. Like it's just folded over paper that has like twine on it. But there's these very elaborate notes, and so she starts going it through with you. Jorgen, you go downstairs, and as you're going downstairs, Watts comes bounding back up with a flask that's like closed, and he's like, "Out of the way!" And he's like going up through the stairs, like, "Excuse me!" And like it's like just you, like in the stairs. You're like, "What the?" And he runs by.
I'm like, fucking hell. It's like a little kid. And I keep on going.
Okay, you get downstairs, and you do see the person she described, like it looks like an elderly human, like stringy gray hair. He's got scars, like all over, like little scars all over his face, and he's eating dinner. And it looks like he's eating slowly. Now, roll an insight check for me again. Or actually, that was Elakar. Yeah, Jorgen, roll an insight check.
15.
So, she described him as an elderly human, and you're a half-elf. He does look older, but you size him up very quickly and realize that he is not a pushover. His face is very, what's the word? Yes, his face is very hardened and also very deceiving. Like, people would look at him and be like, "Oh, let me help you, Grandpa," and he would just push them out of the way. He's one of those guys. So, yeah.
I'm like, how are you today, sir?
He's like, I'm good. I'm good. Would you like some ale? I believe Krog is handing out ale. Would you like some?
You finish your meal. I'll get it.
Okay. He sits down and he's like drinking and eating. And he like motions for you to sit down, and you see somebody come over and bring you. Ollie comes over and brings you food.
Oh, thank you, Ollie.
And he's like, and like walks. Like, I don't talk to you. We fell off the side of a mountain. I'm still very mad.
I didn't fall on top of you, Ollie.
That was the other guy that's not here. Yeah.
I was like, I was told by Rita that you might be somebody knowledgeable that could help us with something.
He's like, well, I try to help when I can. You see, he does not have a weapon on. You guys still have your weapons on you and stuff when you come to the keep. He has no weapons on.
Oh, well, I mean, we just walked in, so usually I take everything off after we get in here. But I set down the jar.
Like on the table?
Yeah, like sit, kind of.
You see him look at it, and he's like, you see him put his fork down and push his plate off, and he's like, where'd you get that?
A laboratory, and damn, I forgot the name again.
Mirror.
Mirror.
The thing you look at every morning.
Yeah.
It rhymes with that. It isn't spelled that way.
I said, there was a call for aid from one of my brethren, so we rushed there and we found him, and he had found a laboratory there with a bunch of notebooks, different stuff like this, and then he had showed us this, which he didn't understand, and we kind of don't really understand, but we have an idea. But when he opens it up, an ethereal or like a shadow form of a bald elf woman appears, and then after a little bit disappears.
He says, all right, follow me. And he grabs the urn. He's like, did you have anybody else with you that saw it?
Elakar and Watts, which is one of my pack people, or pack mates.
Oh. He says, well, have both of them meet me in the basement.
Okay.
And you. And you see him just like, not even after that, he picks the urn up and he just goes towards the basement like the stairwell going down. Yeah, you drink your beer really quickly. Yeah.
And then I go upstairs. And
the military thing of eat now, taste it
later.
Yeah. You go up there. They have everything organized, and you guys are about to sit down and study. Like Rita's lighting candles and everything, because it's late now. And yeah, you come up there, and
I walk in. I'm like, I hate to interrupt, but before you guys really get started, we have been requested to come down to the basement.
All right.
Elakar and Watts.
Watts is literally like stacking stuff, but he's looking at Rita while he's like moving stuff like this, looking at
Watts.
her. And he's like, what? Okay. And you see him put down, he puts a big plotter on one of the journals, so it doesn't like blow away. And he's like, I'll be right back. And she's like not paying it, like organized, you know what I mean? Like she's doing her job. You guys go down to the basement, and you see him sitting there, and it's so weird. He's leaning up against like the lab equipment. They have like a lab table where they do experiments, and you see the wolf, the weird craven wolf head thing that you saw from before on the table. Parts of it are missing because Brother Basil did some experiments, but it's sitting on the table, and you see Malin, this guy, leaning on the table, and you guys come down, and he's got his 1 foot crossed in front of the other, and he's like, so what do you know about the Shadowfell?
So I guess I'll start telling the story about what we know as far as like it is
Like the upside down.
kind of like the upside down, and I'll go ahead and cast minor illusion to give my verbal descriptions, some imagery.
You're doing like the Star Wars hologram thing of
Yeah, the Star Wars holograms.
Yeah.
And then I'll show go through the story that we went through and go to the dragon and show it going out of the mountain, and it's like, oh, this is what we know.
So just to let you guys know, behind the rolls, when he wanted to see what was in that urn or see if it sparked any kind of like, I know what that is, he got a nat 20. So he is like, I know what that urn is, and he, as soon as you get to the dragon, he stops your illusionary magic. He's like, you released the dragon.
Tomato.
We didn't know it was there. We were being attacked. We blew the mountain up.
Yeah, we're trying to like stop things here.
Okay. Well, that's going to be a problem. He says, well, this is, you guys know about liches?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Just read about them.
He's like, well, good. He's like, this is basically a message. And he takes the pot and he slams it on the ground and it breaks, and you see the mist like pool around it, and it comes up, and this time, instead of it just being one of those like bald elvish creatures, or whatever, there's 3 of them now, and they all look very similar. But both of you guys give me a give me an investigation check with advantage. I'll give you advantage.
All right.
Wow.
Yep, 20.
Natural 20, 25.
Wow. These
Okay.
are actually not the same. You guys both notice it. One of them, and the moment it hits you, you're like, oh my god. Elakar, give me a history.
With advantage or no?
Yes, actually, with advantage.
Okay. 18.
Okay.
Good rolls today.
So, you know of like, it's like a story that you heard in a bar, maybe like when you were reading, that like, this is like he was saying with the upside down. These are like the inverse version of like good elvish bars and whatever. These have been like perverted by the Shadowfell, and you thought it was just like a thing you heard, like a, like a lot of things you guys research. You think it's a story, but it's not really. Like you're like, oh no, this is like legit.
This is real.
Yeah,
this is based on reality.
This isn't something that elves tell children to get them to go to bed or whatever. Like, so something happened to these elvish. They were always called the stories and stuff you heard. They were always called the sisters. Like the sisters will come after you. The sisters will take you. Some of them sometimes referred to hags, but these specifically were like elvish sisters. That like if you don't do what if you don't clean your room, if you don't go to bed, if you don't eat all your food, they'll snatch you and take you to the Shadowfell type thing.
Got it. Okay.
But there's and what happens is, as the mist is going, they're just permanent images. You can walk through them, you can touch them. You don't take any damage if you guys want to do that. But what happens is you always see their faces. And he's like, so he says that means there's 3 of them. If you kill one of them, this mist will disappear, meaning that they'll be gone at least from here forever.
Got it.
So,
do you know where we can find them?
He's like, well, they always have to stay close to Shadowfell energy, or at least they like to. It makes them feel at home. They don't like being here.
You think that other old castle with all that shadow energy, Jorgen?
Oh, you're talking about undergarments.
Yeah, Fort Garment, you mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Fort Garment.
Undergarments. Yeah, he's talking about undergarments, right?
Do we know any other concentrations of the dark energy?
As far as I know, Fort Garment is the most highly concentrated energy that we came across.
Yeah, I agree.
He's like, well, what did you... Because you were telling him the story of Fort Garment in your illusionary magic. He's like, was that stone you showed me in your presentation? And he does this. He's like, was that at Fort Garment?
Yeah.
Oh, the stones that I was breaking?
Oh no, not those ones. Those were that was at the volcano.
Right.
No. We did one at the undergarment too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Undergarment.
Fort Garmin, the GPS
I
castle.
was trying to make that a thing that was serious, but I guess if Jorgen just wants to make fun of it, no, it was a trading hub, and they just called it Fort Car. Everybody thought it was a funny name, and then it's like a really serious place where people go get stuff after. They're like, "What a dumb name," but we really need something. We should go. Like everybody made fun of it until it really happened. So, yeah, he's like, if that's true, we should go there.
Okay, I'll go get.
Do
Yeah,
you think we should?
I'll go like, or just me and Jorgen.
He's like, he's like, the Shadowfell really doesn't like light. So if you have anything that can create light, they're resistant to a lot of different damage. But if there's anything that create light, especially, and he looks at you, you see Jorgen, he looks you up and down, he's like, they hate radiant energy from clerics.
Oh, that's good because I just happen to have well, one, protection from good and evil, and I have Word of Radiance, which is one of my cantrips.
Nice.
And I have my, what is it called? The Maledict.
Yeah, you're Crimson Right?
Crimson Rite, and one of them is the Rite of the Dawn, which is radiant. I'm trying to find it. Rite of the Dawn. I do additional 1d6, and it counts as an enchanted weapon. But I assume, oh yeah, it sheds a bright light out 20 feet from my weapons.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. It doesn't say radiant, but
Well, they don't like light.
they don't like light, and I have a light spell too, just generally.
Yeah, they like to stay in the dark.
It's more like a flashlight spell, but anyway.
He's like, well, he goes, these,
Is there a potion that does daylight? Is there a daylight potion?
he's like, I don't know. And he looks at Brother Basil, he's like, do you? And he goes, maybe we might be able to come up with something. I don't know. He goes, it's, let me look through some of our books and see what I can come up with. You want something that, like, just creates daylight?
Yeah, or some very bright, radiant light.
He says, Malin, he's like, well, I would say you get what you need as fast as you can and we go, because the longer these sisters are out, I have a feeling that they're doing something. They're smart. And if they got released from the Shadowfell, I don't know. They may be...
What about, do you have any magnesium?
You see Basil, he's like, 1 sec. And he starts looking through his notes. He's like, we do not. I rolled a nat 1 for that, by the way. So they do not have magnesium.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the Malin, he's like, did you, when you were telling him your story through your holographic presentation, Evolution of Magic, did you talk about the Fort Garmin and meeting Callie, the guy, and all that?
I assume we probably spent like a good hour just explaining it all. Here's all the one thing after another.
He's like, so, do you think your friend, Kaladin, is maybe working with them?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, or is like the main problem. Yeah.
Totally, that's Kaladin. What a Kaladin move. Like, he's so mad at him. Like,
he's probably the whole problem there, that guy.
All right, well.
Oh, yeah.
Your guy isn't, it sounds like you're, like, these women don't really work for anybody, these sisters, but they also have common allegiances with people, or common, I don't know what you call it, desires. So if they think that your friend wants the same thing that they want, then they'll help him. So it sounds like your friend tried to do something to this dragon, but he's pretty stupid if he did, because it's not like these dragons listen to people. But we should definitely go to Fort Garmin. If we can do something to them to interrupt whatever they're doing or find out what it is, that would definitely help. We don't know if the dragon's at full strength. To be honest, I know about the Shadowfell, and I know a little bit about what it can do to some creatures, but I don't know what it can do to dragons. So I don't know if this thing is more powerful now, if it's going to get powerful, if these sisters are trying to make it more powerful. They obviously wanted to keep contained for some reason.
All right.
Maybe now that it's free, it can get away and escape their.
Right. just to let you guys know, some of these dragons don't want what happened to them to happen to. They didn't want it to happen to them. So some of them are unhappy with what happened and maybe want to be released, like a curse. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm not saying to not kill a dragon. I'm just saying
Don't seek them out, maybe.
don't seek them out, and it could be again, I've killed several dragons myself with help from people, but it doesn't mean that they're all evil.
Well, I think if we base our search and attacks on the 3, that might help with getting rid of some of the stuff.
We have to stop them. They're smart enough to know what they're doing. If you think they're at Fort Garment and they're there, and the stones that were there, they're planning some kind of ritual there. The spire was probably part of it. But that's probably the second part. So we need to leave as soon as possible.
Let's do it.
All right.
So if you like that, please like, subscribe at the normal podcasting places, Apple iTunes, the Google Play Store, Spotify, all that kind of stuff. It hit audio services the 1st and the 15th of every month, maybe a little bit sooner. And if you want to watch the video of it, we're now on YouTube. As if you're seeing this, you can tell. If you still want to listen to it, that's fine. But go to the normal place. It'll be YouTube, 7 a.m. in the morning on the 1st and the 15th. So anyway, that's it. So I hope you enjoy the episode, and we'll keep going on. These are going to be arcs. We're telling stories with people. It's all going to be fun. And yeah, we'll just keep going, stuff like that. So, have a good couple weeks, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.